Salama family, salama. How y'all doing today? Hope you're blessed and highly favored. So, Yakova's back. I would say family, I'm about maybe 90%. I'm not 100% yet, but I'm like, hey, let's see what I could do. Let's push through this thing. Now, it was very interesting that we got all kind of emails from the Mormon Israelites wishing curses on us and saying we sick because we went after their Book of Mormon. Well, I don't really care about your Book of Mormon. I don't care. What I do care is about souls. I care about my people. And I want to thank y'all, who reached out to us to find out, hey, what's going on, Yacob and Teo, sending up the prayers. Really appreciate it. Appreciate the love, family, really do. Because, it's sort of funny. I don't wish no evil on nobody. My worst enemies, I don't want sick. My worst enemies, I don't want them suffering. Why is that, Yakoba? Because I've been there many times. And, my life ain't easy. It ain't easy. I've been through a lot. I go through a lot. And I'll be like, Father, yeah, where you at? I'll be like, Father, where you at? I'm doing your work, but I'm always suffering. I do your work, and I'm always getting beat up. I don't want to be a Job. I don't want that type of testimony. But I don't have no will. My will is his will. And so, you get mad at me because I'm fighting for my people. You get mad at me because I oppose deception and lies and falsehood and things that are going to lead my people to hell. So you get mad at me because I love you. So I let you beat up on me because I love you. You think I would go through this if I didn't love you? You think I would fight the battles I fight if I didn't love you? If I didn't care, I wouldn't say anything. Thank you, Brother Cares, for the gifts. Y'all have some people who want to manipulate you and use you. And you get mad at me when I tell them they're using you. If you knew the trials I go through, you'd be shocked. If you knew the trials I go through, you would be shocked. Y'all be, oh, there's Jacoba. He think he knows so much. Oh, there's Jacoba. He got the big head. Oh, there's Jacoba. He's teaching false prophecy. Oh, he's the two wings of an evil bird. If you knew what I go through, you wouldn't want to be in my shoes. Anyway, family, the times we're in right now are very trying. All of Israel is being tried. All of Israel is being tested. The world is being tested. And some of y'all ain't gonna make it. I'm not talking about the ones who love truth, who love Yeshua, who are on a narrow path. I'm talking about the wide path people. I'm talking about some of our people who let the wolf come into the pen because he had on some wool. He dressed in wool. He tried to look like the sheep, and he entered the pen and he said, "Come here, little sheep. I got another way out for you. Come here, little sheep. Come here. Follow me. Look, there's another gospel over here. Follow me. There's another book you need. Follow me. There's another man over here besides Yeshua. Follow me. Come here, little sheep." And they'd be like, "But my daddy told me don't follow strangers." Well, you know, I'm not a stranger. I'm your Uncle Bob. But don't you know, Uncle Bob, there's a bunch of stuff going on outside the pen. There's a lot of destruction. There's a lot of death. There's a lot of murder. There's a lot of deception. My daddy told me not to leave the pen. Well, come on, look, I got some candy for you. You got some candy for me? I got some candy for you, son. Oh, well, that's another story. Let me come and follow you because, you know, my daddy wasn't telling me about the candy. I've heard about it, but I never had the candy before. Well, yeah, you know, you got to have some of that candy because that candy nice and sweet. It's sugary. You're going to really like it. Some people say, I got a sweet tooth. Come on, little sheep, follow me outside of the pen, out of the safety of Yeshua, out of the safety of his word, out of the safety of his canon. Come and follow me. Chew on this candy. All right, Mr. Uncle Bob, I'll come with you. All right, let's go. Well, let me show you something along the way. What you want to show me, Uncle Bob? There's something your daddy didn't show you. Your daddy was hiding it from you all along, but your Uncle Bob been looking out for you. What you got for me, Uncle Bob, besides the candy? Oh, well, we got that Book of Mormon for you. Ooh, what's that, Uncle Bob? We got some other documents for you too, Uncle. Your uncle got for you. What else you got for me, Uncle Bob? We got the Tokoism for you. I don't know what those things are, Uncle Bob, but it sure sounds good. But Uncle Bob, what's going on over there on the left side? I see a bunch of volcanoes. Uncle Bob, what's going on over there on the right side? I see people in the streets, but they're not in their homes, and I see some things over there, Uncle Bob, that don't look right out here. I was safe in my pen, Uncle Bob, but now I don't know. I feel some kind of way. I've never been out the pen, Uncle Bob. Uncle Bob, what's that over there, Uncle Bob? Oh, don't worry about that, boy. But Uncle Bob, it looks dangerous. What's that I see, Uncle Bob? What's that, Uncle Bob? Don't worry about that. I told you that, boy. Be quiet. That don't mean nothing. But Uncle Bob, my daddy used to tell me about this thing about the 400-year prophecy. Oh, don't worry about that. They lying to you. There ain't no such thing as the 400-year prophecy. Don't worry about that, boy. Just follow and believe your Uncle Bob. Come over here and read this Book of Mormon for you. Come over here and follow Tokenism. Come on, don't worry about it. Well, Uncle Bob, what's that fire right there? Well, son, you know, that's just a volcano. They call it La Palma. Uncle Bob, why are these volcanoes happening now? I haven't seen them before. Don't worry about that. Ain't nothing here. These are not the droids you're looking for. But Uncle Bob, I'm scared. Trust me, son. I'm your Uncle Bob. Would your Uncle Bob lead you down the wrong path? But Uncle Bob, I'm concerned because I've never been out the pen before. But Uncle Bob, what's this right here, Uncle Bob? Uncle Bob, what's all these volcanoes? My daddy told me about these volcanoes all over the place, all over the world. My daddy told me there will be signs and wonders in distress of nations, the seas and the waves roaring with perplexity. Uncle Bob, I'm gonna go back home. Uncle Bob, I don't like all these volcanoes. Uncle Bob, my dad told me not to leave the pen and I shouldn't have leave the pen. Can I go home? Can you bring me home? No, son, you can't go home. You with Uncle Bob now. Well, how do we get out of this, Uncle Bob? What's the solution? Which way out? Let me introduce you to some of my other friends over here. Uncle Bob, I want to go home. Thank you for the gift. My life today. I want to go home, Uncle Bob. I don't like these volcanoes. Let me introduce you to some of my other friends over here. Over here is my friend over here. His name is Scientology. Some people say he got some of that truth too. Over here, some of my friend called Muslim Islam. They say he got some truth too. Here some of my friends over here called Buddhism. He got some truth too, but my daddy told me don't follow them. Your daddy ain't telling you the whole truth, boy. You know, boy, there was somebody I knew like you. And I had to help them out too. Thank you, Sister Yvette, for the gift. I had to tell them something too, because your daddy wasn't telling them the whole truth. And I told them, I said, and their name were Adam and Eve. And I said, you know, your daddy ain't telling you the whole truth, Adam and Eve. And they said, what you mean? Your daddy know the day that you eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, Your eyes are going to be open and you're going to know what's good and evil. You're going to know the truth. You're going to be like God. See, he keeping something from you. This is why you need to go to the Book of Mormon. This is why you need to go over there to all these other books. This is why you need to do this, because the books he gave you ain't giving you everything you need. Your daddy been keeping stuff from you. You don't believe me? But Uncle Bob, my daddy told me about them earthquakes. My daddy told me about them hurricanes. My daddy told me about them volcanoes. And I left the pen and now I see them. What do you think of that, Uncle Bob? And let me tell you something else what my daddy said. Because my daddy ain't never lied to me before. Isaiah chapter 64. Oh, that thou wouldest rend the heavens, that thou wouldest come down, that the mountains might flow down at thy presence. As when the melting fire burneth, the fire causeth the waters to boil, to make thy name known to thine adversaries, that the nations may tremble at thy presence. When thou didst terrible things which we looked not for, thou camest down, the mountains flowed down at thy presence. Uncle Bob, I think my daddy's near. Because it says right here that when he comes, the mountain's going to flow at his presence. For since the beginning of the world, men have not heard, nor perceived by the ear, neither had the eye seen, O God, beside thee, what he had prepared for him that waited for him. My daddy told me to wait, but I left the pen. Thou meetest him that rejoiceth and worketh righteousness, those that remember thee in thy ways. Behold, thou art wroth, for we have sinned in those his countenance, and we shall be saved. My daddy told me not to leave the pen, so I sinned. My daddy told me don't hear nobody else but him, but I disobeyed. I left the pen. But we are all as unclean things, and all our righteousness are as filthy rags, and we all do fade as a leaf, and our iniquities like the wind have taken us away. And there is none that calleth upon thy name, that stirreth up himself to take hold of thee, for thou hast hid thy face from us and hast consumed us because of our iniquities. Thank you for the gift, Brother Stephen. But now, O Lord, thou art our Father, we are the clay, and thou our potter, and we all are the work of thy hand. But not wrath very sore, O Lord, neither remember iniquity forever. Behold, see, we beseech thee, we are all thy people. Thy holy cities are a wilderness. Zion is a wilderness, Jerusalem a desolation. Our holy and our beautiful house, where our fathers praise thee, is burned up with fire, and all our pleasant things are laid waste. Wilt thou refrain thyself for these things, O Lord? Wilt thou hold thy peace and afflict us very sore? I know I left the pen, Father. I know I followed Uncle Bob, but I'm sorry. I see your presence burning on a mountain, flowing down because you're angry. Nahum chapter 1. The burden of Nineveh, the book of vision of Nahum the Elkoshite. God is jealous, and the Lord revengeth, and is furious. The Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserveth wrath for his enemies. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. He rebuketh the sea and maketh it dry, and drieth up all the rivers. Bashan languisheth, and Carmel, and the flower of Lebanon languisheth. Can we say that he dried up the Lake Mead? The mountains quake at him, and the hills melt, and the earth is burned at his presence. Yea, the world and all that therein, all that dwell therein. Who can stand before his indignation, and who can abide in the fierceness of his anger? His fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him. The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust in him. Uncle Bob, I'm going back to the pen because I trust my daddy. I'm not going to the Book of Mormon. I'm not going to these other things. But with an overrunning flood, he will make an utter end of the place thereof, and darkness shall pursue his enemies. So darkness is pursuing his enemies. The hills are melting. The earth is burned at his presence, and the rocks are thrown down by him. Don't get it twisted. La Palma is judgment. These volcanoes are judgment. The snake bite is judgment. No, there's no 400 years. It's all coincidence. Thank you, Sister Lynn, for the gift. There's no 400-year prophecy. It's all coincidence. You lying, Yacoba. There's no, I'm wondering, what's all this stuff I'm seeing? What's all this stuff I'm seeing? If the 400-year prophecy is a joke, if we're incorrect, how come we here? Not only that, what's your way out? What's your way out of this mess? If we ain't at the 400 years, if the prophecy ain't hit, and if none of this is true, what's your way out? Because they got you locked up like a joker. Uncle Bob, can I go home? Because this don't look safe to me. What is the Internet of Bodies? In the 20th century, wireless technology integrated with the human body was nothing more than science fiction. But today, Wi-Fi connected devices like heart rate monitors, sleep trackers have become common parts of the American life. How has bionic technology evolved so quickly from science fiction to reality? And what could this Internet of Bodies mean for our lives moving forward? RAND researchers are studying this phenomenon and what consumers and policymakers need to know as we veer into uncharted territory. It ain't like they didn't warn you. They didn't told you in Hollywood and sci-fi and everything what they were going to do to you. Just like I told you, the Internet of Things, the Internet of Bodies is all going to be to Borgify you. Have you heard of the metaverse? Have you heard, family, of the metaverse? I'm not talking about Marvel Comics. Have you heard of Facebook changing their name? Look up the metaverse. Have you heard about the Bitcoins and the cryptocurrencies where you can buy property in the virtual world? People are spending 500 here, 1,000 here. Do you know what that is about? The metaverse is to jack you into the matrix. Remember, Elon Musk said he's going to put something in your head so you can attach yourself to the matrix, or what he called virtual reality. What do you think the Internet of Bodies are? To track you, to control you, to know what you're thinking, so you can't even have private thoughts, so they can turn you off and on like a robot. This is leading to the mark of the beast. I know some of y'all think the snake bite is the mark of the beast, but it ain't. The internet of bodies, that's the mark of the beast. So there's no 400-year prophecy. How you going to get out of this? What's your way out? If God not coming for us, how you getting out? You're going to get jacked up like everybody else. That's what you're going to do. Y'all don't know what kind of situation we're in right now? Y'all want to beat me up over some foolish Book of Mormon? You want to put curses on me for some stupid Book of Mormon? And half of us may not even make it out alive. This is the mark of the beast. These tattoos that's going to be on your arm. Some of you all got the snake bite, but it ain't too late. You best not get this tattoo. Ain't no 400-year prophecy, y'all say. Well, what is it? Now, this particular page, you're going to have to go watch this at Tail Ministries. Go watch this video. Some of y'all ain't see it. Go watch that video. Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. Go watch that video. Babylon is done. Stick a fork in her. I ain't gonna be too long, family. Why Russian and Chinese warships teaming up to circle Japan is a big deal. A group of naval vessels from Russia and China conduct joint maritime military patrol in the waters of the Pacific Ocean in this still image taken from the video released October 23rd, 2021. A joint Chinese and Russian naval exercise in which a flotilla of 10 warships completed a near circle around Japan's main island has been touted by the two countries as a means of ensuring stability in a volatile region. Russia and China flexing their muscles. When you go watch that video about the U.S. soldiers speaking out, you're going to see that they are against the lollipop. They are about to lose their jobs. A lot of people about to lose their jobs. They even put the condition on Minister Taiyu as well. They even put the condition on many Israelites in this chat right there. Eat the lollipop or else. And some of y'all going to fold like that little paper in the wind. Because you don't have no foundation. Some of y'all gonna fold like the paper in the wind because you don't know Yeshua. Some of y'all gonna fold like the paper in the wind because you have the Book of Mormon guiding you. Some of you gonna fold like the paper in the wind because you are following another Christ. Go watch the video of them soldiers and tell me if America ain't ripe. Go watch that video and tell me if America ain't ripe for Russia and China. If the amount of military personnel going to be dishonorably discharged, America is a mess. America's in some mess. Now, finally, I want to show you stuff from the viewpoint of somebody who's been, watching this stuff while he's trying to recover. Record backlog of cargo ships at California ports. Now, understand that these backlogs are in New York as well. The backlog means thousands of cargo containers are stuck at sea. Some 65 cargo ships have been forced to queue outside two of America's biggest ports in the latest sign of supply chain disruption hitting the U.S. I told you, get some extra food, some extra water, some whatever you can get. But what does this mean, Yacoba? What does this mean where we see these ships out in the sea at the same time, Yacoba, that our soldiers are saying, I'm not taking a lollipop, so I might lose my job. While Russia flexing their muscles along with China against Japan, while North Korea flexing her muscle, while China is launching missiles that goes around at supersonic speed, while these cargo containers are sitting out in the sea, but there's no 400-year prophecy. These are not the droids you're looking for. It means nothing. It means nothing. It means nothing. It means nothing. What would happen if all those ships are attacked? I got another idea, though. I got another idea. What if those ships are the same ships we see in Revelation 18, 17 through 20 at the destruction of Babylon? What if that's it? In 1 hour, such great wealth has been brought to ruin. Every sea captain and all who travel by ship, the sailors and all who earn their living from the sea will what? Stand far off. Why are they standing far off? Why the ships and the sailors standing afar off? Could it be? I'm just guessing. Could it be that they're the same ships that we see right now, the cargo ships? Could that be why those ships are hanging out there in sea? Because Babylon is falling, and she can't get up. Could it be? When they see the smoke of her burning, they will exclaim, was there ever a city like this great city? They will throw dust on their heads and with weeping and mourning cry out, woe to you, great city, where all who had ships on the sea became rich through her wealth. In 1 hour, she has been brought to ruin. In 1 hour. Rejoice over her, you heavens. Rejoice, you people of Yah. Rejoice, apostles and prophets. For God has judged her with the judgment she imposed on you. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it is, but could this be why the ships are out there at sea? Because we're at that time. Could this be why these ships are at sea, waiting to bring their cargo? Because they want to bring it to Babylon so that they could get wealthy, so they could get rich, because everybody who has ships in the sea got rich by the abundance of her delicacies. And they are the exact ones that's going to be watching her as she burns. And thank you for the gift, Brother Bruce. While at the same time, Russia and China flexing their muscles. Russia making incursions close to Alaska. We have a whole bunch of migrants coming across the borders. Thousands. No, there ain't no 400-year prophecy. It's all coincidence. Everybody who's teaching it is wrong. I'm the only one who's correct, but you don't have an answer for this, do you? You don't have an answer for this, do you? Do you know how many people who ain't going to be ready because you are telling them ain't nothing to see? You know how many people going to die because they ain't got no food and water because you said there's no 400-year prophecy. All these things you're seeing going to disappear. We're going back to the way things were. While at the same time, the whole world is being told to take this lollipop or you ain't going to work. Thank you, Brew Queen, for the gift. Take the lollipop or you ain't working no more. Not just the military, the private sector as well. All at the same time. But there's no 400-year prophecy. You ain't got to worry. You could do whatever you want. Let's go argue about who the Israelites are, shall we? Let's go talk about whether or not Deuteronomy 28 applies to the Negro. Let's go talk about whether or not these Negroes are dealing with skin doctrine. Let's talk about everything but what's happening. Let's not talk about the mark of the beast. Let's not talk about the reduction in food supply. Let's not talk about the coming World War III. Let's not talk about the book of Revelation. Let's talk about who the Negroes say they are. Why you think I'm so concerned, family? We's in some trouble, family. Why you think I'm so concerned, family? Because we in some, you know what? Yacoba's exaggerating. You know how he is. But where's your answer for all these things that's happening? Where's your answer for La Palma that looks like it's about to go into the ocean? Where's your answer for the lack of food? Where's your answer for the coming shortages in power and gas and oil? Where's your answer for how we gonna live when they shut it all down? Because we all are so hooked on the system. Ain't no 400-year prophecy, foolishness. This is warfare. This is called unconventional warfare. They are at war with us. What did they do to Venezuela? Venezuela didn't want to go along with the program. What did they do? Embargo, cut off the food supply, cut off the oil, cut off the gas. Now they're at war with those who don't want to take the snake bite. And they're doing the same thing to us they did to Venezuela. No more food coming in, no more oil coming in, no more gas, no more electricity, unless you allow us to RAPEU, because that's what it is. My body, my choice. Nigga, you ain't putting nothing in me. I'm not bending over like that. We could go 1-to-1. We could fight, but I'm not laying down. I don't roll like that. My body, my choice. Nigga. I'm not playing with these people. You're going to tell me what I got to do with my body so you could be happy? You could KMA. Ain't no nigga stepping up in here going to tell me what to do with my body. F all y'all. Talking about the New World Order globalists. Sorry, family. I'm a little out of, so you know I'm sick, family. You know I ain't feeling well. Y'all got to give me a pass. I'm still recovering. I told you I'm 90%. I'm not playing church, family. We got to make it past this so the Most High can come and get us. We got to make it to the second Exodus so we can go into the wilderness. But I'm not playing with these people. I hope I make it. I hope we all make it. But this is how dire the situation is. This is why do you think I'm under attack so much? Ain't nobody else really telling you this. Ain't nobody else really telling you this, family. They all worried about whether or not they're gonna have gas in their car tomorrow and they ain't gonna be able to eat. They're all worried about whether or not the Negro is lying about being Israelite. Here's the deal, and I'm gonna cut it short. I'm gonna cut it. Well, I ain't gonna say short, but we at the time, everybody gonna be mad at you. We at the time, they're gonna say, you don't like lollipops? You can't come by my house. So says your grandma. You don't like lollipops? You can't come by my house. So says your mama. You don't like lollipops? You can't ride in my car. So says your brother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle. You're not going to make us safe by bending over. Guess what? We not a socializing. I don't hear you no more, Yacoba, because you making it unsafe for me. Well, I thought what you took was supposed to make you safe, but you want me to make you safe by bending over. No, I don't do that. I don't roll like that. I told you that. Well, we're going to put an embargo against you, Yacoba. We're shutting down all the stores. We're shutting down the gas stations. We're shutting down the restaurants. We're turning off the lights. We embargoing you just like we did Venezuela, and let's see how you survive. While at the same time, we spraying you from the air with chemtrails. Well, family, once I get back, I'll be a little more tame. You know, I've been cooped up for like a month almost. So, you know, you got to give me a pass. Hopefully you give me a pass. It was all bottled up, family. It's all bottled up, you know. So, family, that's all I got to say. You know, hopefully I continue to recover and get over this thing completely. And hopefully we all make it out without the sword taking us out. So, you know, you might want to download this one. I don't know what they're going to say about this one. I don't think I was too bad, but, you know, we'll see. You never know. All right, family. Love y'all with the love of the Messiah. Peace and blessings, Israel. Your captivity is ending. Love you with the love of the Messiah. Also, family, please support our Dry Bones Project.